if they've done something that shouldn't have been done, right? So for example, say, nowhere in the protocol does it say these tests are to be done. Even if it contains it for this visit in that lab kit, that's a protocol deviation. So doing too little, right, or too much, both are protocol deviations.
So this, if it was like...
If it's not in the protocol, it doesn't necessarily have to be here, but it has to be mentioned in the protocol that this is done at this visit, right? So if it's not mentioned, then that's protocol deviation. And you'd want to know it explaining why was it done, right? So it could be done because that's what was in the lab kit, right? So that would be a problem with the lab kits, right? Because they're designed so only what's exactly called for is done, okay? Now, well, that's not true. So here's your explanation. So it may not actually have to have been done. So if that's not true, it could be a good catch on your part. So an unscheduled visit was used for this visit. Okay, so what that means, remember I showed you the unscheduled visit kit and how that contains every test? Okay, throughout the whole study. So you have to, at the site level, what happened here was they didn't have a visit 2 lab kit, or excuse me, a week 2 lab kit. So they used an unscheduled. You can use the unscheduled for an unscheduled visit or for a scheduled visit in which you don't have that lab kit. So you can pick out what test you need to run. So they may have picked up the wrong test. This actually may have not needed to have been ran. I don't know, right? Because it doesn't list it in schedule of assessments. So again, you'd have to refer to the protocol. So that would be a protocol deviation, right? If, again, it's not mentioned in the protocol. So that actually could be an error on the site's part, right? But if this were a week 2 lab, right, kit, then that would be a lab error. But it still would be a deviation on the site, because regardless of whose fault it was, you know, they mismade the kit, it's still an error on the site because they are the ones that did it, right?
So considering that this deviation doesn't really hurt anybody.
It's still a deviation though.
Yeah, I know, but reporting it.
So it's safest to always report all deviations to the IRB. It keeps you out of having to determine what's patient safety and what isn't. Most monitors do this, not all, but most, any deviation they say reported to the IRB, regardless of what it is. Because they don't want to be in a situation where they didn't have something reported and come to find out your supervisor says, hey, that was patient safety, why was that not reported? So you just make it much easier on yourself just to have everything reported to the IRB. That's what most monitors do. Again, not all, but most do. Again, we don't know if this is a deviation or not. You'd have to look at the protocol. And we're not going to do that, just to save time. But if it were, you need to file a deviation report. File a deviation report and the IRB. Okay, so we covered this already. They did a little better job of filling out the header here, right? It's checked, informant not available, so that's okay. Got patient initials. The only thing is you still don't know which visit this belongs to. So I'd like a date on here or for whatever visit it is. Okay. Even though the header doesn't ask for that information, you still need something to identify what visit this belongs to. Okay. That's true for all of these documents. They all should have a date or the visit that it was done.
That was a no-call thing.
Okay. Yeah, I see. So it says subject lost blister pack, right? So it could be that they're not recording percent compliant because they didn't return the blister pack, right? But that being said, I still would want, because you don't know, right? You don't know what the rationale here is. I still would want to know here, right? Why is this not recorded? There should be an explanation, right? Not recording because blister pack lost, right? Or whatever the case may be, because it could be that because from the previous ones, we saw they were recording
Yeah.
it. So I don't know what happened, right? I don't know what the story is. So it's either it just didn't get done, which is not okay, or what's the rationale why it wasn't done,
Right.
okay? So again, and especially now with Alcoa C, no blanks, right?
Okay, before we go, the CSS. RS, there's no date, assessment date on here, it was done, so, that's a deviation, or, you know.
There wouldn't be a
It's
deviation.
not a deviation, but, you know, it's not complete.
Well, see, probably what the CRA did was, if you notice, it was signed and dated up here on the date it was done.
Okay,
So they probably allowed that to,
okay.
they allowed that for the date.
Okay,
Because there is no place to fill out the date,
all right.
is there?
Assessment.
Oh, yeah, there is, okay. So they probably said, well, there's a date here, so that's okay. But yes, that should be complete. Again, with Alcoa C, everything needs to be complete.